Welcome back to Sports Talk with Dad. As always, my name is Kyle, and I cannot call this Sports Talk with Dad without the man sitting next to me, a man who I can officially say is not the stupidest man in the world, my dad, Tim.
Yeah, that title, I think, goes to a guy up in Canada. So this is all over X today, and it was on a couple radio shows. Guy up in Canada goes and buys a lottery ticket. He wins $3.6 million. Yay for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an ID. He doesn't have a bank account. But he does have a girlfriend. He gives her the ticket, cashing it, thinking, oh, she'll share with me. The minute she had it, she blocked him, she ghosted him, and she's gone. I don't know him. So that the guy now is taking her to court.
Yeah.
Try to get the money back.
That money's gone.
If it was with like some of my exes, it would be, but why wouldn't the guy go and get an ID and cash it himself?
Why don't you have a bank account? I don't know.
I mean, I love you, but if I won $3.6 million, I'm not giving you the ticket. I'll go and cash it myself.
Yeah.
And you do the same.
110%. I mean, that money's gone. I mean, good for him for taking it for court. I'm sure they have video of him buying the ticket and all that. But even if he wins, do you know how quickly $3.6 million can be spent? I could spend that in 2 weeks if I wanted to. It's a house. It's a couple of cars. It's a big trip.
Well,
money gone.
Okay, assets, they can make her sell it. But I heard a couple of people go, well, they should split the money. Why? It shouldn't be split. It was the guy's money. She stole it.
Don't do drugs.
Well, or he gave it to her. I mean, who would hand over a ticket worth 3.6 and just trust? Apparently, she's already got another guy. Again, reminds me of my couple of exes, but that's another story for another.
Do you really want to open up your dating history on
we
this
don't
show?
want. We don't want.
I mean, there's a couple we could talk about.
Yeah, but we won't. We won't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this. I don't understand how in today's world you don't have an ID. That makes no sense to me. I don't understand how you don't have a bank account. I don't know about in Canada.
I'm sure. Okay, they're $10. You've got 3.6. Somebody will loan you 20.
Right. I'll give you 40 back.
Yeah.
In a couple of days here.
I don't know. He was able to find an attorney after the fact.
Right, because he thinks he's getting paid. I mean, it's one of those ambulance chasers where I don't get paid if you don't win.
Right.
The money's gone, dude. It's gone. He's never gonna see a dime. That money has been moved. I don't know if it's been moved. I mean, I don't know if she's not intelligent, but he's definitely not. It's been spent. That money's long gone.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. Well, it's a learning experience. Losing 3.6 is not a learning experience. It's a painful one.
Yeah, but another painful thing that happened is a legend has passed away.
Jim Marshall, former Viking great, former holder of the consecutive game streak, passed away. It's a life that should be celebrated. I mean, he was such a good player, member of the Purple People Eaters, which, by the way, I love the name. I know those guys, Alan Page, hated it. And Marshall
they hate it because think of the great defenses of all time. The no-name defense, the Monsters of Midway, the Legion of Boom.
The Doomsday defense, the Fearsome Foursome out in L.A.
Steel Curtain.
Yeah.
And you get the Purple People Eaters.
But they were in purple, and they ate running backs. I mean, they were just amazing.
I just don't blame them for not liking. I don't know another name that you would use. The Viking something. I don't even know. I'm not. I mean, clearly don't ask me.
The Jets had gangrene back in the day, which, like their uniforms of that era, were just stupid.
I don't know what the Packers' name would be if they ever had an elite defense. They've never had one.
That's not true. Back in the 60s, they had a very elite defense. But it didn't have a name.
You know, sometimes greatness only needs the name Green Bay Packers.
You know what the best part about those teams is? The same thing that's the best about today's teams. Their uniforms are fantastic.
You sent me an article.
I did.
about the best uniforms
for each
for
division.
each team. So I thought about
No,
this.
each division, not each team.
Yeah, okay. I thought about this, and I want to set up some rules to this here.
Okay.
It has to be based on the 2024 NFL season.
Got it.
So we're going to pick the best uniforms for each division in the NFL. And I'm also going to make you pick the best for the AFC and NFC, and then I'm going to make you pick the best uniform.
When you think about it, uniforms don't usually change a lot season to season, so I'm sure they're going to be almost the same this year. I don't know of any teams that are going over massive makeovers this year, except the Washington team, which should have the Redskins back on their helmets this year. But
You can't pick that one. You have to go off
I know.
2024 uniforms.
I will. Okay.
All right.
All right.
This is your segment.
I know.
Where do we start?
We start in the NFC East.
We're starting with one of the hardest divisions to choose from.
There's a lot of hard divisions. Some good and some not so good.
I can think of one that's terrible right off the top of my head.
We'll get to them, but we're going to start with you've got the Washington team, you've got Dallas, you've got the Eagles, and you've got the Giants. And I've never been a fan of the Giants, although the Lawrence Taylor with the Giants on the helmets were better.
Great uniforms.
They were better than the ones with the NY on it.
I don't like the NY. I like the Giants. Well, are we including alternates in this?
It's part of the whole package.
Okay.
All their uniforms.
When I thought about this, I didn't
You
include
got
alternates.
Philadelphia, you've got the Kelly Greens, which are among the best ever.
All right, I know what you're picking now.
I don't think you do.
This was tough. I do think the Giants are the worst of the bunch. I don't think they're bad uniforms, but worst of the bunch here. I like the Commanders. If it would have been Redskins, it would have been my choice just because the Redskins jerseys are outstanding. It's one of the greatest logos in sports history. But I got to go Cowboys here.
Well,
The Cowboys are great.
I mean, they're classic.
They're amazing.
They're good.
Amazing uniforms.
I am choosing the Commanders.
Really?
I like the W.
I like the W.
I don't like the name. I've been very clear on that. Commanders.
Washington Commies.
Yeah. It should be the Redskins again.
It'll never be the Redskins again. It should be Washington Football Team.
Fine. I'll accept that with the Redskins logo on the helmet because that belongs back where it belongs. But I still like the maroon. I even like the W that they chose.
I like the W.
So I'm going with them.
Really?
Yep. I like the black they've used.
Anybody who watches this show is shocked at you picking Washington. With how much you complain, how grumpy old man you get about Washington, and you're picking them as the best uniforms in the NFC East. I don't even think you're right.
I've always liked the maroon. The new owners can't be held for the stupid decisions the former owner made. I like their uniforms, and that's what I'm going with because I'll never pick Dallas.
All right, what's next?
And Philadelphia.
They're great.
They're good. Yeah, they're great, but I like Washington better. Okay, we're coming home. The NFC North. I mean, the Lions with their alternates, the blue helmet, the black jerseys, they've had some great uniforms over the last few years.
Lions are good.
Bears are
classic. The Vikings are great, especially the matte helmets. Absolutely outstanding. Their white ones, they're all white, was amazing.
I actually like their old Viking helmets with their dark purple with the horn on the side. Much better than I do these days.
Disagree.
You can.
Especially the Vikings white uniforms. I love them.
None of them are as good as the best uniform in the division.
It is the Green Bay Packers.
It's the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
They are classic. And for those people who say we're homers, yes, but that's not why I'm choosing them because they are the best. So they're classic. They've had the same uniforms essentially since 1960.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Packers. I mean, they're great.
The Bears have had the same uniforms for all that time, too. They only added the red to it.
I mean, this is a homer pick for me. I'm not even lying.
I mean, the
Vikings are close. The Bears are close. I think the Lions are in fourth place of this. Now, I don't think they're a bad uniform. I think if you look at a top 15 uniforms in the NFL, the Lions are definitely in that, but it's the Packers in this division.
I do like the Bears when they put the bear on the side.
Yeah.
That's a good looking one. I flip-flop. I am not the biggest Viking purple fan. I never have been.
I love the Vikings.
Okay,
uniforms. When they went to matte helmets, I was like, those are outstanding.
Matte helmets look good on almost every
team.
Let's go down to the NFC South. where there's a bunch of uniforms that I really don't like.
Buccaneers aren't bad.
Oh my god!
The
Even that
Panthers blacks are
wait a minute.
decent.
The creamsicle with Brucey.
Not Brucey Buck.
You know,
no.
it's got a different name now. They tried to cover up the Brucey part of it, and it's like, no, that's been Brucey forever.
That's Brucey.
Yes,
You don't have to like it.
Brucey the Buccaneer.
It's Brucey the Buccaneer. I do like the Saints, but I love the Falcons uniforms. I think they're absolutely outstanding.
Falcons have been one of my favorite
Did you
uniforms.
pick the Falcons too?
Forever, I've liked their uniforms. I even like the red helmet with the black.
I thought you were
falcon on
picking
it.
Tampa.
No. I lived there for a long time. I always hated the Buccaneers.
But it's the uniforms, not the team.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Still don't like the uniforms as well as I do the Falcons. The Falcons are one of my favorites.
I'm right there with you, especially the new ones. I love the new uniforms with the ATL on the front.
Yep. They're
love
classic.
Them. The Vic uniforms are some of my all-time favorite.
And
even the red helmets. I really like
The
those.
Steve Bratkowski red helmet with the black falcon, they're great.
All right, who's next?
NFC West.
I mean, there's one answer. In
So
this is one of the worst divisions.
You're going with the Seahawks, obviously, or the Cardinals.
No. The Cardinals are terrible. The Cardinals are bland. The Seahawks are gross uniforms. It's the LA Rams.
I don't like these as well as I like their old uniforms. Not
the St. Louis ones?
Not the St. Louis ones. The old LA Rams with either the white or the gold. I never liked the metallic gold that they use.
I didn't either. These new ones are amazing, and they've been amazing since they came out.
They're the best of the bunch, but they're not as good as their old ones. But yes, the Rams are the best in the division.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were picking the Niners.
Niners are okay, but they've adjusted it just a little bit.
You know what the Niners need to do? They need to go back to the horse and cowboy with the gun shooting in the air. That's what I want to see.
Of course you do. All right. Let's move on to the AFC East.
All right. There's one choice.
No, there's not,
Yeah,
because because the Jets don't use the Joe Willie Namath jerseys as they should. They should only have one set of uniforms. The Broadway
There's
Joe.
one choice. Just admit it. Quit being petty.
I'm not being
and just
petty.
be honest.
I'm being honest.
Be honest.
The best it's either the Bills or Miami, but it is not the Jets.
Be honest.
No. I don't like the Jets and their green with their green helmet.
The black uniforms, the white, the green. The Jet logo where the J turns into a jet. It's perfect.
The only perfect uniforms I've ever had, the football that said Jets and
It's great.
Joe Namath doing the drop back. Those are the classics.
I love those too.
And if that was their uniforms, I would pick them happily. But
Be
I will not
honest.
No. I'm going to pick the Dolphins. Even though I like the Dolphins with the helmet on the Dolphin better than the current ones, I still like, and the Bills are great too.
Bills are good.
Because they went back kind of to Jim Kelly, 4 Super Bowls in a row jerseys. And
there's a poll underneath these. Did you know that on the website here?
I did not.
I actually agree with you. The Dolphins are 42%.
I would have picked the Patriots if they would have went with the old red with the Pat Patriots.
I am 100% with you on that. And I
love that one.
I like their new uniforms. I like their new logo, but Patriot Pat. Is it Patriot Pat or Pat the Patriot?
Either one. I've heard it both ways.
Those are perfect. They'll never go away from these now because they're the Tom Brady jerseys. But the old red with that on the helmet are much better.
I love the Patriots snapping the ball. Pat was great.
All right, the poll agrees with you with the Dolphins, and the poll is wrong. I want to go back. Hold on. What did the poll do with the rest of these? They picked the Seahawks as the best. Rams were third place.
After who was second? The 49ers?
Yeah. New Orleans was rated the best.
I could see that
in the poll, and then
when they go
the Vikings absolutely destroyed everybody. The Bears were last. Packers were third.
Well, I've seen some polls where the Packers are in the 20s, and the Bears are down there too. And it's just, I don't like recency bias.
I don't either.
And
the Eagles were number 1 on this list, followed by the Cowboys.
Okay.
I knew there was a poll on the website.
AFC North. We got the Bengals, the Ravens, the
there's
Browns.
one choice.
Steelers.
There's one choice.
Yeah, I know you're in love with Joe Burrow. Go ahead, say it.
It's not the Bengals.
Oh, really?
No, I love Joe Burrow. Their uniforms still are not the best in this division. I don't even know if
It's the Steelers.
it's the Browns. I'm kidding. It is the Steelers. The Steelers are the best uniforms in this division. The Ravens whites, I like a lot. I hate the purples.
I like the Browns if they put the dog or the brownie on their helmet.
Yes.
I think that would be a great alternate.
Especially do a white helmet,
Yeah.
orange and black dog. That would look great. The brownie would look cool. And they get brownie points for that one.
Wow. And the Bengals, there was nowhere to go but up for them from having the Bengals written out on the side of the helmet for years.
They were rough. The helmets aren't bad. I like the white ones better. But they're not bad, but they're not. I mean, come on. We got to be honest here. It's the Steelers.
Steelers logo on one side, black and gold. Yes.
It's definitely the Steelers.
All right. AFC South, this may be my least favorite division.
It is the worst division in all of
You
football
got
for jerseys.
the Colts, the Jags, the Texans.
Colts are
and the
hideous.
Titans. The Titans
like-
are the worst.
Oh, that's a high school uniform. I mean, they are absolutely disgusting. They need to just go back to the Oilers and call it a day. I do like the new Jaguars uniforms with the darker teal.
Well, there was nowhere to go but up.
Yes, and I do like them better.
I don't know why they're called the Jags or the Jaguars.
That's never made sense to me. I went to school in Jacksonville. I can tell you for sure. There's no Jaguars in Jacksonville.
None. They could have called them the Water Moccasins.
No water moccasins. They could have been the Sharks.
Could have been anything.
Sharks would have been good.
Could have been the Gators. Oh, no, they got Florida Gators.
Couldn't have
Wouldn't
done
do
that. Mm-mm. It had to be something better than
What they picked.
the Jaguars.
Best advice I was ever given was when I first moved down to Florida. A guy on my team was a professional fisherman. And he said, if you're ever on a boat on one of the rivers around here and it's alligator infested, and my first question was, why would I ever be on a boat or anything on alligator infested
People
waters?
in Florida are obsessed with being in alligator infested waters.
He loves the fish, but he said, look, if you're under a tree and a water moccasin drops into the boat, and my next question was, how would I know it's a water moccasin? Because he will chase you. He goes, go in with the alligators. I'm going, why would I go in with alligators who can eat me? He goes, they may be full, but the water moccasin will always bite you, and you'll be dead before you get to land.
You got 15 minutes.
You'll be dead before you get to land. I killed one once.
Listen, I lived in Florida.
I did too.
And I don't know now why people ever live in Florida. It is a terrifying place with monsters and dinosaurs and almost every poisonous snake on the planet.
Well, I killed a water moccasin with my car by trying to run it over. Number one, it's not easy to do because they're like an egg.
Yeah.
But number two, I found out after the fact that at times, if they really have a chance, they will wrap around your axle and come right in the vent. I don't know if that's a urban myth, but it scared me a lot. I
don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm going to have nightmares about snakes again. All right, on to ugly uniforms. Back to this.
Okay, so who are you taking in this division?
It's the Texans.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Texans are the best. I
think followed by the Jags.
No, followed by Houston or by Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, it's high school uniforms.
No, it is
high
not.
schools wear those.
They've had the same uniforms.
It doesn't mean they're good.
Yes, they are a great helmet. I like
the helmets.
The blue,
fine.
The blue and the white is classic. They've got a great alternate.
Terrible.
I like the Colts.
Terrible uniform.
Not as good as the Texans, though.
The poll agrees with us. Houston Texans at 40%, followed by the Colts and then the Jaguars.
Now the hardest division in all of football.
The AFC West, I don't know how you're going to pick. I know who you're going to pick.
You got Denver, you got Kansas City, you've got Oakland.
The new Denver uniforms are absolute perfection. I didn't like them when I first saw them, but I've fallen in love with them.
They're good.
The Chiefs, classic uniforms. The Raiders, absolutely outstanding uniforms.
There's only one.
The Chargers are great uniforms.
The Chargers are the best. Chargers are going back to the 60s when
I've heard this
baby blue. They got the lightning bolt on the helmet, the numbers underneath it. They're the best uniforms football has ever produced.
It is the Chargers. This division.
Yeah.
It is. I love the Broncos. I love the Raiders.
I do too.
It's the Broncos, or it's the Chargers is the best.
Yeah, don't take the Broncos.
I want to take the Broncos. I really do because I love the Broncos
My-
uniforms.
My second best would be, I think
Broncos.
no.
Broncos.
No, my second choice would be between the Chiefs and the Raiders.
You think the Broncos are the worst uniforms in the AFC West?
Yeah, I like classics.
All right, you're dumb.
I like classics. I'm not dumb. I like classics. And
Do you have dementia already?
stop it.
You want to go sit out on the
By the
porch
way,
and yell at clouds?
Look at the poll, and you'll see that people agree with me.
And people are wrong. They've
No, they're
agreed.
not.
They have the Raiders. Nope. Chargers, then the Raiders. Wow. Raiders 40%,
Yeah.
Chargers 43%, Kansas City 9, Broncos 8. My goodness.
Well,
I mean,
The-
the Raiders are
Raiders are
definitely second
great.
best.
they're great. I mean,
They're
I
great.
see those uniforms, and I think Oakland. Kenny
Well, it is
Stabler, and
Oakland.
All right, now what are we doing?
Broncos are the second best.
No, they're not. No.
All right, now I'm going to make you pick the best in the NFC and the best in the AFC. So who's the best in the NFC?
Well, okay, I'm not taking the Packers just because everybody expects me to take the Packers, even though they are the best. I'm going to pick somebody else.
And
And
just
if I
pick the best. Just it's like with the Jets. Be honest.
no,
But you know what? You've already lied once.
I haven't
so
lied at all. If I can't choose the Packers because I know you're going to, and I'm going to
You know I'm
be
going to.
different, I would pick the
Who's
Rams.
your choices?
The Rams would be my choices were Washington, the Packers, the Falcons, and the Rams. And out of those four, even though I love the Packers and they are the classic uniforms of the NFL, I'm going to just be different and take the Rams.
The Rams are great uniforms. I can't blame you for taking them. It is the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
The Green Bay Packers are the best uniforms in the NFC. Call me a homer,
Homer.
because I am.
Yes.
But it is the Green Bay Packers.
And in the AFC, there's only one.
I agree.
It's the Chargers.
No. J
No.
E T S.
If
Jets,
it would have been the Joe
Jets,
Namath Jets,
Jets.
yes, they could be. I could see that happening. But
It
no,
is
it is
The
Chargers.
New York Jets.
Chargers
are
are
the
the-
best jersey in the AFC. It's not even a conversation. I mean, it is a conversation. The Chargers are great.
Chargers have
The Jets, Steelers, Texans, Chargers is the Jets.
the Chargers have had the
Jets.
best uniforms since the 1960s.
I wish I would have worn my Jets
No,
T-shirt.
Ugh.
It is JETS
you're wrong.
Jets.
Okay, who's your
Jets
winner?
fans. You
Better
tell
be-
me yours.
Better be the Packers. The winner is the Chargers. They're the best uniforms football's ever
So
produced.
you have between the Chargers and the Rams.
I went with the Chargers. Wow, they were both LA teams. I mean, look, and if it wasn't for the show and I wanted to just be different, of course I'd pick the Packers. But
I'm between the Jets and the Packers,
you better pick the Packers.
and the answer is the Green Bay
Yeah,
Packers.
Gonna
It is
say.
the best uniforms
They are
in
classic.
all
They've
of
had
the
the
NFL.
same uniform basically since 1960.
I think you and I were pretty close to this. I think we were only different in the East. I had Cowboys, Packers, Falcons, Rams, and then Jets, Steelers, Texans, Chargers. I think we only differed on the East ones.
And well,
Other-
you picked the absolute wrong one for the East in the AFC. Not the Jets. Jets are awful. Okay,
JETS, Jets.
Right
Speaking
before-
of New York,
right before we came on, there was huge news, which I don't understand.
Tom Thibodeau fired.
How?
New York Jets.
Why?
I don't know.
That team, he had gave them the best record they've had in 25 years or something crazy.
I don't know. It's the stupidest thing I've ever
His
seen.
players love him.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
This makes the Bucks look smart by
I asked
firing
Jalen Brunson
Thibodeau.
after the game, what do you think of the future of Tom Thibodeau? Do you think he's the right man for the job? His response said, "Are you kidding me? You're asking me this right now?" Yes, of course I do.
Stephen A. Smith went off on it. He doesn't
Knicks
get it.
fans are pissed.
Everybody's pissed because he's a great coach. They're one player away.
How many times have we talked about this in the NBA, though? Like, if you don't win every single year, we're going to fire you. There's no loyalty in the NBA.
This is
None.
This is the first time the Knicks have been in the finals, the conference finals in forever. So the team has to learn.
I mean, you're better off if you want longevity as a coach. You should be a middle of the road coach, if not a losing team coach, because you're going to get a longer tenure than a guy who gets close to winning.
Like we talked about years ago, the Bucks should never have fired Budenholzer
No.
under the circumstances. And the Knicks are crazy for finding. I mean, there's no way a guy like Giannis is going to New York now.
No.
Not happening.
No.
So
What I do believe, though, is the NBA is not happy
they're going to
with
have
the
this
finals this
Wait
year.
a minute. They're going to have their 7th champion in 7 years.
I don't think that's what they're upset about.
I can't imagine anything else they'd be
I
upset
think
about
they're
other than
I think they're happy Oklahoma City made it.
2 middle country teams are playing for their title.
I think they're happy Oklahoma City making. You have SGA, who just won the MVP. He's a star. Same with Milwaukee. They were happy Milwaukee was there
Yeah,
because you had
because Giannis.
Giannis. He was a star. They were very upset that the Suns made it.
The Pacers have Halliburton.
Come on.
Well, they don't have Reggie
You know
Miller
he's from
anymore.
Wisconsin?
I did what?
He's from Oshkosh. He went to Oshkosh North.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Nobody cares about the Indiana Pacers. Nobody even wants to live in Indiana. Like, nobody cares.
Wait a minute. We did a show about how the Bears should move to Indiana.
Yeah, outside of Chicago.
It's the ratings on this series are going to be insanely low.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that true NBA fans will watch because they'll want to see SGA and Chet Holmgren and Oklahoma City. Nobody wants to watch the Pacers. Nobody.
Okay, I've always kind of liked the Pacers going back to Reggie
No, you
Miller
haven't.
and Larry Bird.
No, you haven't.
I have. I never
What do you
hated
mean going back
them.
to Larry Bird?
Larry
Oh, that's
Bird
right, he
was
was
their
the
coach
coach.
and their general
Forgot about that.
manager. Leave me alone.
Sorry.
But I think OKC is going to destroy them. I think it's going to be a 5-game series.
If that. I
You
mean,
think they're going to sweep?
they could. Indiana might win one at home. They seem to be that type of team. I mean, Oklahoma City is just a much better team.
Halliburton's dad is going to be allowed at home games. By the
Is
way.
he?
Yeah.
You know, he still lives in Oshkosh, and he's yelling at Giannis.
People who are watching us right now are going, okay, where's Oshkosh? It's a town. Look at a map.
Nobody's gonna know.
It's got right by the lake that you see in the map.
It's by Appleton.
Nobody knows that either.
About an hour and a half. It's right in between Milwaukee and Green Bay. Oshkosh.
Everything's between Milwaukee and Green Bay. Half the state is between Milwaukee and Green Bay.
At least where people live.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna know where Oshkosh is.
No.
But that's where he's from.
Well,
It's good. Okay, pick one. Who do you? Oh, you already did. You picked Oklahoma City. I'm
yeah.
clearly not listening to you,
It's-
which means it's time to end the show. You and I have had a great show, and as you all know, you cannot have a conversation with your father without your dad getting the last word. So it is all you.
I'm going to go back a little bit because it does make me sad that Jim Marshall passed away. He was a great player, but it reminds me that NFL fans have a very bad problem with recency bias. They don't think the guys who played in the 60s and the 70s or even going back to the 50s are real football players. Those guys were as tough as nails and would have been able to play in any era. Deacon Jones, Ray Nitschke, Dick Butkus, all would have been superstars. Don't forget the teams that come from before the Patriots. There are teams that were probably better than the Patriots and would have beat them if all things are equal. Jim Marshall was a great player. Celebrate his life. Look him up if you haven't. He's more than just the guy that ran the wrong way for a touchdown. He's one of the all-time NFL greats. Rest in peace.
Do you know how old you just sounded right now? Back in my day, we had superstars.
You're one of those that drives me nuts.
I'm not at all. But you don't know what it was like back in my day. Such an old man. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This is Sports Talk with Dad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.